You know that cough, the one that shows up in the fall and just decides to move in. It hangs around for weeks, maybe even months, and it seems to laugh at everything you throw at it. Well, what if the answer wasn't some new high-tech drug, but a really old piece of wisdom that's been hiding in plain sight? Let's dig into this ancient remedy and see if it holds the key to finally getting some peace and quiet.
Right? We have all been there. It starts with just a little tickle in your throat, maybe what's left over from a cold. But before you know it, it becomes the soundtrack to your life, especially when the weather gets cold. You find yourself asking this very question night after night, as that cough is keeping you from a good night's sleep. You feel like you've tried it all, but nothing really seems to stick. And that leads to a really familiar and super frustrating cycle.
So what do? We run the modern playbook, right? We grab the antibiotics, the powerful cough syrups to just silence it, steroids to bring down the inflammation. And look, sometimes those things are totally necessary. But maybe you only get a day or two of relief, and then the cough comes roaring back, sometimes even worse than before. Why does that happen? Well, from a traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM perspective, it's because these approaches can sometimes miss the root of the problem. It's like they're silencing the fire alarm, but they're not actually putting out the fire.
Okay, now this is going to sound a little strange, but to really get this, we have to flip our entire perspective on its head. We have to stop thinking of our cough as the bad guy.
You see, in TCM, a cough isn't the illness. Not at all. It's actually a sign that your body is doing its job perfectly. Your lungs, which are supposed to be clean and clear, are actively trying to kick something out. Whether that's phlegm, cold, dust, whatever, that cough is your body's own intelligent, powerful effort to clean house. It's actually a good thing. So if the cough is your body's way of throwing out an intruder, what do you think happens when we use a heavy-duty suppressant to just shut it up? Well, the logic starts to become pretty clear, doesn't it? I love this analogy. Using a suppressant is like locking a thief inside your own house. Sure, it gets quiet for a little while, but the real danger, the pathogen, the thief, is still trapped deep inside your lungs. And over time, that trapped intruder can cause even bigger problems, like bronchitis or even asthma. You haven't solved the issue. You've just buried it deeper. So if we're not supposed to just suppress the cough, how do we actually help our body win the fight? This right here is where the genius of TCM really comes into play. The single most important first step is figuring out what kind of cough you actually have. Because believe me, not all coughs are the same. And this is absolutely critical. For instance, a lot of us have heard that steamed pear is great for a cough. And it is, but only for a hot cough. There's a story of a 50-year-old man who'd been coughing for 2 months. He ate steamed pear every single day. But his cough just got worse and worse. He lost his appetite, he felt weak. Why? Because he had a cold cough, and he was basically pouring ice water on an already frozen fire. Okay, so how do you tell the difference? Let's play detective for a minute. A cold cough usually has phlegm that's clear or white and thin. You feel chilly, maybe you have the shivers. Your throat is more itchy than truly painful. And if you look at your tongue, it might be pale with a white coating. On the other hand, a hot cough brings up thick yellow or green stuff. You feel hot, you might have a fever, a really sore throat, and your tongue will look red with a yellow coating. Getting this right is the key that unlocks everything else. All right, so for the rest of our time here, we're going to zero in on that stubborn, lingering cold cough, the one that so many of us get stuck with in the winter. And the remedy for it is an ancient, surprisingly simple, and just brilliant pairing of 2 things you might have in your kitchen right now. Meet the power couple, Sichuan pepper and pear. I know, it sounds a little wild, right? But in TCM, this is pure genius. The Sichuan pepper is seen as intensely warming. It's like a tiny furnace for your lungs. It breaks up the cold and gets your energy, or qi, moving again. The cooked pear, on the other hand, is all about soothing moisture. It calms the throat and gives your body back the fluids it's losing from all that coughing. And this is just a perfect example of the art of balance in TCM. If you ate a raw pear by itself, it would be way too cooling for a cold cough. And if you just had the pepper, it would be too harsh and drying. But together, they're perfect. The pepper's heat cancels out the pear's natural coolness, and the pear's moisture keeps the pepper from being too aggressive. It's a perfectly balanced medicine that helps the body without creating new problems. Okay, so you figured out you've got a cold cough. You get the theory behind this. Now for the big question, how do you actually make it? Let's get into the recipe. First things first, the ingredients. And this part is non-negotiable, okay? You want pears that are heavy and juicy, like
Yali or Huangguan pears, and you absolutely must use red Sichuan pepper. The red kind is warming and it works on the lungs. The green kind is totally different. It's numbing and works on other parts of the body, so it won't work here.
The steps are super simple. 1. Wash the pear. But whatever you do, do not peel it. The skin is a crucial part of the medicine. 2. Slice off the top to make a little lid, and then carefully scoop out the core, so you have a little bowl. 3. Pop about 5 to 8 red peppercorns inside. 4. Put the pear inside another empty bowl. Don't add any water to that bowl. Put the pear's lid back on, and steam the whole thing for about 30 minutes. 5. You've got to eat it while it's hot. Drink that amazing juice that's collected in the bowl first, and then eat the entire pear, skin and all.
And here's a final pro tip. The absolute best time to eat this is about an hour before you go to bed. A lot of coughs get way worse at night when our bodies get colder. This remedy warms up and protects your lungs, helping you get a peaceful, quiet night's sleep. But the real beauty of this whole approach isn't just about this one recipe. It's about understanding that food can be customized, like a key for a lock, for your body's very specific needs.
Now, check this out, because this is where it gets really smart. We can actually fine-tune this remedy to make it even more specific. Think of it like personalized medicine, ancient style. If you have a ton of that white, frothy phlegm, you can add a few slices of ginger to help dry it up. If your cough is really weak and you feel totally wiped out, you could add some astragalus or red dates to boost your energy. And for those other coughs we talked about, well, for a dry cough, you'd skip the pepper completely. For a hot cough, you'd use way less pepper or swap it out. It just shows you how intelligent this whole system is. It's not one size fits all. Of course, this is powerful food as medicine, so we need a little caution. If you have a really high fever, if you're pregnant, or if you have certain other underlying conditions, it's best to avoid this, or even better, check with a qualified professional. Safety first, always. This ancient saying really gets to the heart of it all. True health wisdom isn't about waiting until you're desperately sick. It's about being proactive. It's about having a tool like this in your back pocket for the very first sign of a tickle, the moment you feel that chill, so you can gently nudge your body back into balance before a little problem turns into a big one. So really, the big takeaway is this. This approach isn't about forcing your body to do something, it's about working with it. It's about learning to listen to the signals your body is sending you, and then giving it the precise, gentle support it needs to do what it already knows how to do: heal itself. So I'll leave you with this thought to chew on. The next time you feel a symptom coming on, a headache, an upset stomach, or that all too familiar tickle in your throat, what if, instead of rushing to silence it, you just paused for a second and asked, what is my body trying to tell me right now? What if that symptom isn't a problem, but actually the beginning of a conversation?